we need to talk about Only Murders in the Building. Only Murders is one of my favorite TV shows ever. Season 5 just started dropping. There's gonna be spoilers for the next 3 episodes going forward, so if you don't want to be spoiled about season 5 yet, please scroll away because I really gotta talk detail. Already, I feel like this season is so fun and different than the other seasons just because, first of all, we have the mob involved and all these CEOs now. Not to mention the fact that not only was there 1 murder, there was 2. I refuse to believe that Lester's death was an accident. There's something fishy going on, but I love this new guy, this like Italian mob guy. I can't remember his name. I'm gonna call him the dad from Ant-Man because that's who plays him. But the dad from Ant-Man, he's doing a great job. Okay, I'm gonna start from the first episode. I keep jumping all around. I was just as oblivious as Oliver when he was eating the shrimp. Literally did not realize he was holding that finger until they like threw it on the piano. That was wild. Also, I've noticed this in every single episode they do. In the opening title credits, they always change a little detail that reflects what's gonna happen in the episode. And if you look in that episode, when it cuts to Mabel, she has that red Stanley looking cup in the window with her, which I thought was so funny. Also, I was cracking up at the fact that half the episode took place in the Godfather house. First of all, I love Only Murders because they do stuff like this. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean that they just were like, what if we just like have this season be about the Italian mob and then we put the Godfather house in it? This is why this show is so elite. The second episode I think was my favorite out of the 3. I really loved how we got a lot of Lester's backstory. Literally was tearing up as I was watching the episode. And I love how they showed like him meeting Mabel as a kid. They brought back all of the characters, even some of the other murdered characters. Like they had Saz, they had Bunny, and when he met his wife, they couldn't have done it any better, like telling his backstory. And all this time he just wanted to be an actor and he looked up to Charles. And his relationship with Oliver. How Oliver just like pretended to slip and was like, I won't sue if he'll let me into the building. Oh my gosh. I think it's very interesting that Lester has been connecting the different characters in the show to birds. I think there's going to be a deeper meaning there. It's definitely code words for like what's been happening in that underground casino thing that they found. My only complaint, I know that they were kind of more involved with the last season, but I do feel like we need a little bit more with like Christmas All the Time guy and Eye Patch guy, especially because Mabel's living on the floor with them now. They were such a big part of last season. The 3rd episode was stressing me out because they made such a big point of making sure that they didn't want Oliver's DNA on the body. And then like Charles and all of them are touching the laundry cart that they put his body in. Or when they decided to do a full autopsy in their kitchen. I would never eat off that counter again. I never really know who the killer is at the beginning of each season because I feel like they really try to spin it and go a certain way. But I have a couple theories. My first thought at like the beginning of episode 1 was that maybe it was Lester's kind of like replacement understudy guy, the new doorman. So I was like, oh, maybe he wanted his job and that's why he killed Lester. So I can see it kind of maybe being that, but he also just like wants to play music. He seems very chill. The more I've been thinking about it, the more I'm like, it's probably not. With the newfound information, I think it's probably going to be one of the CEOs. Obviously, I think they're leaning towards like Logan Lerman's character. But again, I feel like they love a good red herring. And I feel like maybe the CEOs are going to be like good guys. And they're supposed to be like, oh, like the CEOs, they're the reason that all this happened. And then they're going to talk with them and they're going to be like, what? No, our friend died. We want to figure it out. So I don't really know. That's what I love about this show. It literally could be anybody. I also, every single season, I think it might be one of the neighbors. Like, I always have a low-key suspicion that it might be, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name. She was friends with Bunny, like the one with like the really like tight framed glasses, because she's just like always angry and upset about what's happening in the building. My last theory is that I think it might be the mayor, like low-key. He's a new player in the game. He's only showed up for like maybe 10 minutes, but he's being really sus and he wants like endorsements and stuff. So I bet he's been working with the Italian mob guy, the Ant-Man dad, to try and like up his votes somehow. Like I bet there's some like weird thing happening there because he's not getting like the support he wants and like he's the reason that all of this is going down. But anyway, I love Only Murders in the Building. What do you guys think? Do you have any theories on who did it? There's a lot of things happening that are sus this season. I hope we get a musical number this season too. That'd be fun.